Hello everyone, I'm Mistan and I'm back for the second lesson. Our previous lesson, if you remember, was about the past perfect progressive, and now we are talking about the present perfect progressive, which is easier than the previous one because it's used more than the previous one. We cannot use or we don't use past perfect progressive a lot in speaking or in writing. And also the native speakers don't use it a lot. Here, present perfect progressive. Um, I'm gonna read the introduction for you to be more clear. Present progressive, so there is a mistake. Present perfect progressive or present perfect continuous is used to show that something started in the past and has still continued up until the present time. And it also refers to the duration of time, such as for a week, for several hours, since Saturday. This tense can also be used without duration, in which gives more general meaning of recently or lately. Here, in present perfect progressive, we talk about the action or something that started in the past or happened in the past and continued up until the present time, until the present moment. It's not interrupted by the action in the past. It's continued up until the present moment. So here, because it's progressive, means that this shows the duration of time. For example, you can say for a week, in which it's the long period of time, or for several hours, for several years, since Saturday, or etc. But if we don't have the duration of time, it's more shows the meaning of recently or lately. Yeah, you can find it or figure it out by its meaning. Here are some examples. I've been living in this country for 20 years. I started living here 20 years ago and I'm still living in this place today. It's different from past perfect progressive because in the past perfect progressive, if you say I had been living in this country, it means that you are no longer live in that country or live in that place. But here I started living there, or I've started living there, and now I'm living in this place today. So it's continuous. This is not interrupted by the other actions. And here I've been reading a novel for 6 hours. I started reading it 6 hours ago, and I'm still reading now. It's the same as the one above. If you note that we have present perfect simple and present perfect progressive. So what's the difference between them? Present perfect simple, or you can say present perfect, is used to describe the action that happened and started in the past, and it's relevant to the present time but not continuously went on until the present moment, or not continuously goes on until the present moment. Here, the in present perfect simple, the action started in the past and it's still relevant to the present time. It's not ended or it's not interrupted. It's still relevant to the present time, maybe by the meaning, but it's not continuously goes on until the present time, until the present moment. Here, this is the third time I've written for you. I wrote twice in the past and now I'm still writing again in the present moment. Someone wrote a letter, for example, in the present time 2 times, and it's still relevant to the present time because he's still writing something. But present perfect progressive is to show that, as we said, the action happened in the past and the same action is still happening now. It's continuously without interruption. I've been reading books since 9 a.m. I've started reading this book from 9 a.m. without stopping, and now still I read it. Well, that's it. If we look at some other examples of formulation and the timeline, we can understand better. Here from the timeline, we have present, past, and future. Here in present perfect progressive, the action started in the past, some point in the past, and continued up until the present moment. It's not gonna go to the future or anything. It's continued up until the present moment, which is clear. Here we have the formulation. If it's positive, we have has or have, not had. Plus been plus verb ing, which is the present participle that shows the continuous action. And for the negative form, we have has, not, have not, plus been plus verb ing. And also we can contract it. We have contractions like I've been, you've, they've been doing. You can say that or you can write it like in this way. But here is a problem. Maybe some of you get a little bit confused about it because the contraction for he, she, it, he is, she is, it is the same as, or it's like saying it is. Not saying, but when writing it. For he, she, it, some people get confused while the contraction of has is the same as the contraction of is. So by having been, when we have been in the sentence, from it you know that it's the perfect progressive tense. And you will be able to differentiate between them easily. Here are some examples. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, but here you can figure out. She is reading a book. It's is because we don't have been here, so it's present progressive. She is reading a book. But here, she has been reading a book. How do you know it has? We have been here. She has been reading a book, and so on for the same for he and it, he, she, it. You can see the contraction for she is and she has. That's the difference. And here we have some examples. She has been cleaning the house since morning. She started cleaning the house since morning until the present moment. The soccer players have not been exercising since one of their team players got sick. They haven't been exercising since one of their team players got sick. Well, the third one, have you still been living in London? It's like more like a question. You can answer it by mentioning the duration of time that you have been living in London until the present moment. And the fourth one, how long have you been waiting for the bus here? Someone has been waiting for the bus in the bus station, and he or she is continuously and at that moment still waiting for the bus in that place. Here we have some practice. Blank Laura blank that book since the last night. You can say, has Lara been reading that book since the last night? Because here we have since the last night, and you know from the meaning that the action started in the past, the last night, and then continued up because it says since the last night. So you can say, this is the question form. You can say, hasn't Laura been reading that book since the last night? Here, the second one, he blank in the company since 2010. He has been working since 2010 until the present time. They dash play soccer for several hours, so they are tired now. It's talking about the present moment, so you can see they have been playing soccer for several hours, starting in the past, so they are tired now. they didn't stop like playing soccer, but they feel tired now in the present moment. So it indicates that they are still playing and they are continuously playing soccer for several hours until now. I'm very hungry. You can see here, I haven't been eating all the day or all day. I have not been eating all day. So this is also the long action from maybe this happened from the morning when you woke up and you didn't eat anything, and still you haven't eaten anything from the present moment. So that's the lesson, and I hope you get some basic information about it. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.